Hey sippers, welcome back to a juicy gossip video. So it's alleged that Offset is looking for a collaboration with Nicki Minaj. And of course, I think he's definitely doing this to spite Cardi B. He mentioned that he was gonna smash her ops. And he's basically doing this to dig in her skin, rub salt in her wound, typical ex-husband, ex-boyfriend, toxic ex-boyfriend behavior. He's trying to do something that makes her go crazy. Now, of course, we all know as Barbs, Nicki's never going to accept this collaboration. Offset has been super duper disrespectful. And Nicki Minaj is just not that type of person. She's not going to reconcile with someone who's, supposedly aligned with Cardi B, especially if you're her ex-husband. Cardi B is like a sworn enemy of Nicki Minaj in this industry. Nicki Minaj doesn't like a bone in Cardi B, and there's no going back to this. Offset has been super disrespectful, have done and said some nasty things about Nicki Minaj. What I love about Nicki though, she's this type of person that is just so forgiving, but I think she has built a boundary with who she decides to collab with. Majority of these female rappers, they could never get a feature from Nicki Minaj again because Nicki ends up supporting them, and behind her back, they're saying a bunch of BS. We remember Ice Spice. Ice Spice said some nasty things behind Nicki's back to her best friend. Like, Ice Spice and her best friend was literally conversing about Nicki, and Ice Spice was basically saying, oh, Nicki's so controlling, she's so bitter, she's just like my mom, so annoying, and thinks that she can rule anybody. And of course, that really took its turn on the internet. Everyone saw the screenshot of that message, and Nicki found out what Ice Spice said about her and unfollowed her, period. So if Offset thinks he could land himself a collaboration by saying sorry, putting out an apology out there, it's not gonna work. Offset, your time has come to an end. I'm very hurt that Takeoff passed away because I thought he was that glue to the Migos group. And I think Cardi B literally dismantled that group with jealousy and a lot of BS. But Offset to me is falling off. Cardi B even mentioned that Offset robbed her. I'm not saying he's broke, but I think Cardi and Offset, they have financial issues, but they don't want to really talk about it. And of course, Nicki's like the epitome of entertainment. You get a collaboration with Nicki, you're literally a hit factor. You're going to draw some attention to yourself. So I think that's what Offset wants. He wants a feature from Nicki Minaj so he could go back on his pedestal. But it's not happening. Never in a million years it's going to ever happen. Nicki is going to pay him dust. One thing for certain though, she loves Quavo. Something about Quavo seems so authentic, though him and Nicki would have had the biggest disagreement ever. Following the whole motorsport situation, when Nicki and Cardi B fell out, Cardi B was trying to be so weird. The whole verse, Cardi B thought Nicki was coming for her in motorsport. And, Quavo was like to Nicki, if you sleep with me, I'll defend you. And Nicki was like, what the hell? You're supposed to defend me because you're supposed to be a good person. I don't need to sleep with you in order for you to defend me. So by all means, Nicki was so pissed, and I don't blame her because that was such a waste behavior. As a man, you're supposed to be protective. You're supposed to split justice. If you're my friend, be my friend. I don't need to sleep with you for you to do the right thing. So Nicki was really devastated, and she cried about this because, you value someone as your friend, and to hear the things that comes out of their mouth, it's just really disappointing. So that's where Nicki and Quavo fell off, and Quavo really came back and apologized because y'all know, like I said, do not hurt Nicki. The Barbs, they're gonna come at you. And Quavo said the Barbs ate him up nonstop. They taunted him online, and he had to come direct and apologize to Nicki Minaj in person. And Nicki was like, you know what, I forgive him. The fact that he came to me with an apology, I respect that so much. And I think that made everything worse. Cardi B, she doesn't like to see peace or people making peace with Nicki Minaj. She sees Nicki as a threat. has always seen Nicki as a threat, in my opinion. But there also has been crazy rumors going around that Cardi B smashed Takeoff, and she is now smashing Quavo as a way to get back to Offset. And if this is true, I'd be so disappointed because, Cardi B, you should be working on your mental health, being happy, being peaceful, working on trying to get that man to sign those divorce papers. And if he finds out that you're smashing one of his ex-friends, he's going to go ballistic on you. He's going to probably start to expose your deepest secrets, which I really want to know. I want to know Cardi B's secrets, honey. I want to know what Offset knows about her, because I feel like there's some snakes in the baskets. But if Offset thinks he's going to land himself a collab with Nicki, he could come and think again. It's never going to happen. You need to sign those divorce papers. Focus on apologizing to Cardi B, because, though I'm not a fan of hers, I think he really brought her to hell and from hell to and from, dragged her in the mud, really embarrassed her on social media, saying that she's burnt out. I think it's not a good thing, especially you married this woman. You went down on bended knees and proposed to her, and then calling her burnt out. She did nothing to you. You just have a problem that she called you out on your acts. The whole cheating situation, not being genuine is just really bad. A man is always going to be upset with you because you called him out on his unfaithfulness. Like, what did you expect, Offset? You thought because she was an exotic dancer, she was going to be so comfortable with your lifestyle? Every woman needs love and trust and security. And not because she was an exotic dancer means she's not a person who's deserving of love and to be treated like a good woman. Though I think she's not. But I don't like what Offset is doing, trying to collab with Nicki, trying to land a collaboration with Nicki just to get back at Cardi B. That's dirty work. You mean to tell me that Offset is at this point where he now hates Cardi? I think Offset dislikes Cardi B so much. Like, he's so jealous of her. He wants her to fail. He doesn't want her on her toes. This is not a good man, Savannah. I hope Cardi B hurries and divorce him. Girl, do what you gotta do. I don't know if Offset feels some type of way because, she wished death on him. I don't know what's the problem, but I definitely know that Offset wants to have the upper hand. He wants to be controlling of the situation, and she's not allowing him anymore. And for that, I give her a round of applause. Like, never let a man kick you roundabout and try to control you. But let me know what y'all think. Do y'all believe Nicki is going to give Offset that feature? Let me see your comments in the comment section. Like this video, share if you care. And see you guys some other time. And thank you so much for always sipping with us.